Hi everybody, in today's video I'm super excited. I have a very exciting collaboration that I'm a part of, and basically what we're doing is we got a ton of women of color that film YouTube videos, and we're all going to be showing you some of our favorite polishes. Our collaboration is called Embrace Color, and we're just showing you some of our favorite colors that we enjoy on our skin tones. And I'm really excited because, like I've told you guys in the past, when I first got into polish, I would buy stuff and then I would just be like, ugh, I don't like it on me. And it took me a really long time to figure out like what worked and what didn't. And that went for a lot of things. Lipsticks, blushes, eyeshadows, makeup, clothing. It's really hard for me to wear certain colors, but I was like insistent that I was going to try and wear them. And now I kind of stick more with what works and I'm happier. So, I wanted to get into a little bit of like what my background is. I've had several questions from several people asking me my ethnicity, what's my background, am I Native American, things like that. So I do want to get into that a little bit more in this video, just because we're talking about skin tones and everyone has such a diverse background and it's super interesting. I love hearing about people's backgrounds and like their traditions and just things like that. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that for myself, and I might go on a little bit long, but just to tell you a little bit more about myself and where I come from. So like I've told you guys before, I am from New Mexico. I live in the northern part of the state, and I consider myself to be Hispanic. So basically, Hispanic is a person that is a descendant of a Spanish-speaking population. And I consider myself that because New Mexico is actually home to the oldest capital of North America. Santa Fe, New Mexico is the oldest capital in North America and was founded in the early 1600s. So people were actually living in this part of the country before even like the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock. So my family can trace ancestry back like, you know, several generations to this area. So for me, that is why I consider myself Hispanic. In northern New Mexico and up into southern Colorado, there's tons of people that consider themselves to be Hispanic and can trace their ancestry back multiple generations living in this part of the country before the United States was even like founded, discovered, whatever you want to call it. But in the area as well, there's also multiple Native American like pueblos and tribes. And where I live, there's something called the 8 Northern Pueblos, and they were even here before like my ancestors were here. And so there's a lot of like commingling of cultures between Hispanic and Native Americans in the area. And so I feel like we have a very unique culture that's like really unique to this little part of the country. We have our own foods. It's New Mexican food. What you find in New Mexico food is not what you're gonna find like in Mexican food or like Tex-Mex or things like that. We basically have our own style of cooking that's like very unique to this region. We do eat chili, but we eat chili like in a different style. We do eat tamales, we eat pozole, we eat a lot of similar foods, but they're cooked differently. I do not speak Spanish fluently, but my parents actually grew up speaking Spanish first. So when my parents went into school, if they were caught speaking Spanish, they would get in trouble. They'd either get hit or get in some sort of trouble because they wanted them to start speaking English. When we were younger, my parents spoke Spanish. My grandma, I think, prefers to speak Spanish. She knows English, but you know, Spanish, she grew up speaking Spanish as well, so she's more comfortable in that. So I do understand Spanish, but I don't speak it. If I have to, I can kind of get by, but since I haven't grown up speaking Spanish, I feel like funny when I do it. Sometimes my accent, I don't even think I have it because everybody, you know, kind of around me sounds like I do, but I know a lot of you have actually asked me based on my accent where I'm from. When I travel outside of New Mexico, I get asked a lot where I'm, you know, where am I from? What country do I come from? Things like that. Another big cultural thing here is family. Family is very important to us. It's a big deal. What you'll see a lot here is like big family compounds. People own, you know, multiple acres, and you know, like parents and kids and grandkids all live in like a big family compound, or sometimes they'll even all live in the same house. So we are very tight knit with our families for the most part. I don't live in a family compound with my parents, but my parents live close by. I see them multiple times a week. I talk to them multiple times a day. My one grandma is still alive, my dad's mom. She just turned 89 years old. And I see her again multiple times. I talk to her often. When I was younger, I stayed with both of my grandparents quite a bit. You know, they had a very big hand in raising me. And same thing with my parents. My parents have had a very, very big hand in raising my children. And that's something big in the culture as well. We have like a very, you know, like my aunts helped raise me, my grandmas helped raise me. Like everybody kind of takes a hand in helping each other out. My mom actually, her mom and her aunt shared a house when they were younger. It was like an L shape, and they each had like their own section of it, but it was in one house. So my mom grew up extremely close with her first cousins, and they grew up like brother and sister. On my mom's side of the family, that's how I grew up. Me and my, especially 5 older first cousins, we're all basically like a year apart. Grew up together like brother and sister. We would be with my grandparents most of the time. We'd spend the night at each other's house. We were basically just constantly always together, and like we are more like brother and sister than we are cousins. And I'm very close with my mom's side of the family. I know my cousins down to like 5th, 6th cousins. My dad's side of the family is a little different. My great grandpa and grandma had 21 kids. So my dad has over 100 first cousins just on his dad's side of the family, and then my grandma had 11 or 13 brothers and sisters. So my dad has like a really huge family, and we were close to some of them growing up, but there's just so many people, like you kind of lose track of people a little bit. And so that's a little bit of my background there family wise. So my mom and dad actually did some ancestry stuff a while back. And what was interesting is my mom had more like Native American indigenous DNA than Hispanic. They call it Iberian Peninsula, basically, like for Hispanic. But my dad had more of the Iberian Peninsula stuff than Native, but he also did have Native American blood as well. And it's really interesting because I think you can kind of see it just in the looks of my family. My mom's side of the family were all really short. I'm 5'5", and I'm one of the tallest girls on that side of the family. My mom and sister are both like 5'1". I have a couple of aunts that are maybe not even 5 feet tall. Everyone's really short, and for the most part, everyone's really dark complected. Me, my mom, and my sister are very, very dark complected. My dad is taller. He's about 6 feet tall, which is tall for like people in the area where I live. Most people are not that tall. And he's light complected, and my grandma is light complected. And my dad has a lot of like taller people on his side of the family, like 6 feet and above, girls that are like close to 6 feet. So I think that like you can definitely tell just based on looks that my mom has more Native American, either from here or like maybe the indigenous people in Mexico in her DNA, just based on size and looks and all of that stuff. This is like a little small pocket of the country where like I just feel like we have a very interesting culture that is not really shown. When a lot of people see me, especially when I leave New Mexico, people ask me where I'm from, and then when I say New Mexico, they're like, well, no, well, like, where are you really from? And I'm like, New Mexico. I've been born in New Mexico. I've never left the country. And so it's really interesting. I think a lot of people see my skin and assume I'm either like from Mexico or Latin America. I wasn't born in the United States. There's just so many different diverse people and like so many different diverse backgrounds in the country that I just thought I would share a little bit of mine with you. So I have 21 polishes to talk about, basically of colors that I really enjoy. Catalina mentioned that she was going to do her video based on seasons. And I asked her if I could copy, and she was like, of course you can copy. So I was like, thank you, because I really like that idea. So I'm going to go from my least favorite season to my most favorite season, and just kind of show you some polishes I really, really like. So one thing that I have learned is I really love myself in jewel tones. I love jewel tone clothing. I love jewel tone nails. I like to wear, you know, like more deeper berryish lipstick colors. I just feel like jewel tones are very, very flattering to my skin tone. So I have a couple of jewel tones to share with you guys. This one is sort of hard to find, but it's called Holiday Spirits and Wine from Wet n Wild. It's like a very deep berry garnet colored polish with some holographic. Since it's hard to find, this did sort of remind me of Zoya Aurora. This is brighter, but it is a very similar type of color. These colors, you guys, just pop off of my skin and I love them. I think they're so perfect. If you have a little bit darker skin tone to like a very dark skin tone, these type of colors just look so beautiful. I really do love this polish, and I haven't tried this one, that's why I didn't show it, but they are similar, but I have a swatch of this one. Then the other jewel tone polish is Merida from Zoya. This is so beautiful, you guys. It's very like emerald looking. I love the sparkle. Great formula. 2 coats to get opaque. And the reason I kind of tend to go towards like sparkle in the winter is basically winter zaps my mood. The darkness and the coldness. Like, I love the holidays and all that, but like once like New Year's is over, you're like literally just like, man, how much longer is this snow and cold and everything gonna last? Like, I'm ready for spring, and I still have a while before I get spring. And so these jewel tones just really like kind of help my mood, and a little bit of sparkle helps my mood. And that's why I'm drawn to these type of polishes more like late December to like February. I just feel like they kind of, it's something to look forward to and pump me up, because the winter has like completely zapped me of my joy basically. So I love a good jewel tone, you guys. Then sometimes I'm over like the dark vampy and I want sort of like a winter palette cleanser, and I feel like this polish is perfect for that. This is Essie's Mooning. This did come out in sort of like a nude collection, everything referred to like being in the nude. It has a great formula, 2 coats to get opaque. I've seen this at CVS and I keep thinking, man, I hope that has the wide brush, because I feel like it would make the formula even better. But I love this type of polish because it reminds me of when it snows and like nobody's gone out yet and it's like really peaceful and the snow still like in the trees and it hasn't melted. This kind of gives me that feel. And I love that feel. Like when it snows and I don't have to go anywhere like work, I'm like, ooh, this is beautiful. When it snows and I have to like leave my house and go to work and fight the traffic and hope someone didn't wreck and sit in traffic and all that, I'm not as happy. But this gives me the like, it just snowed and I'm at home on the couch, and I love that. So this is a really beautiful polish. And then I have a couple of vampies I like to wear that I think are really flattering. This is Duchess from Believe Beauty. If you have not tried Believe Beauty, it's exclusive to Dollar General. The polishes are $2.50. I have a review. I'll link it down below for you guys. This color though, oh, I love this sort of like very deep wine. I think it's gorgeous on my nails, and I also love this, not maybe not this deep, but like a wineish color on my lips in the fall and winter. I just think it's perfect. So if you guys are looking for a good like very vampy sexy polish, I would definitely check this out. It has a little bit of a jellyish formula. It does take 3 coats to get opaque, but they go on really nice and smoothly. And this type of like very deep wine I think is super flattering on me. And then I have Suzi and the Arctic Fox. This is sort of like a very dark purple, almost like towards a black color. It's really pretty, has a great formula, 2 coats to get opaque. And I feel like this is very just sexy and chic in the winter. It makes a great base for like glitters. I like doing it with Skittle manicures where like you pair it with some other things. But this type of color I think is just super flattering as well, and it's very like sophisticated to me, especially if you have your nails shorter and then you wear something like really deep dark and sexy like this. I love that look in the winter. So this is another just really beautiful polish. Next least favorite season is fall. So basically fall starts my like seasonal funk and it goes into winter. Fall's a hard season for me because like the days start getting shorter. I know summer's ending and it just really gets to me, you guys. I don't know if I have that sad or what, but it just really it drags me down. My cousin, the one I was saying, like we all grew up like brother and sister, died at the beginning of September. I've always hated fall, but I feel like since he's passed, when the fall starts, it like triggers something in me and like takes me back to the day he died, and it really bothers me. And so I try to find things that I do enjoy. Like I love Halloween and I love the holidays. I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. I love putting up a Christmas tree. I love being with my family even more than I normally am. But I really have to like focus on finding that joy. And I feel like polish is something that helps me do that when I have like a nice color on my nails. So these are some of my favorites that bring me joy in the fall. So I've told you guys in the past, I have a really hard time with neutral polishes and nudes. And basically what's hard about them for me is I'm brown. And so depending what kind of brown I put on my skin, it can either work or make me look very, very washed out and like dead. And so I have a really hard time finding good nudes. And I didn't think I was even a nude person, honestly. Like I had a couple of nudes I liked, but and I did not think I was a brown person. But I tried these two People of Color polishes and I was completely convinced that I am a nude person. I love brown and there are nudes that can look good on me. So I have a review of the nudes collection that they put out for fall. I'll link it down below. These were my two absolute favorites of the collection, and they really do have me rethinking like some of my thoughts as to what looks good on me and what doesn't. This brown is called Mother of Earth, and I'm not a huge brown fan, but when I put this on, it was instant love. I felt so sexy. I felt so chic. I felt so vampy. I was just like in love with this polish. It had a great formula, 2 coats to get opaque. It's sort of like a reddish undertone brown, and I really love this reddish undertone brown on me. I thought it was so beautiful, just sexy, and it like literally made me rethink what I've thought my whole life of what looks good on me. Then I have a couple of nudes that I did enjoy. OPI Don't Bossa Nova Me Around is one that I would wear. Like if I'm planning to wear a nude, that would be the one I would pull. But this one is Pink Sand from People of Color Beauty. And this was perfection, you guys. It had a great formula, practically a 1-coater. But I just thought this was so flattering on me. It was like elongating to my hands and like just really pretty, but then like interesting and not like a boring nude, because I always have considered nudes to be kind of boring. This wasn't boring. I was just in love with this. I love this type of clothes in the fall and winter as well. I have some sweaters this color that I really enjoy. And I just feel like this polish brings out something in my skin tone that's very, very flattering. Like even if you look at it like against my face, I just feel like the color brings out color in my face. I was in love with this one, you guys. If you are like me and you weren't sure about nudes or what you liked in nudes, I would definitely check out the People of Color collection, because she makes polishes with women of color in mind. And I feel like a lot of times we don't get that. Things aren't made with us in mind. These were made with us in mind, and she did a great job. She knocked it out of the park because she made me love a nude on me. So 2 great polishes. And then if you guys know me, you know I love a grandma polish and I love it in the fall. If you have not tried any type of like grandma shades, and to me that's sort of like a pinky mauve, and you are similar to my skin tone, you need to try some. This is Mugful of Happiness from Painted Phalanges, and this was so flattering on my skin, you guys. It gave me this very elongated look on the nails. It was very classy, just cozy. I don't know, so pretty. If you have not tried a grandma, you need to get one, because I think you're gonna love the way it looks on you. If you're like my skin tone or darker, they're super flattering, and they just bring out something in my skin tone that just like, see, when I put it by my face, it's like it's good. you know, it brings out like rosiness and it brings out color. When I put some other nudes against my skin tone, I mean, I literally do look dead. Like you would see me and be like, oh my God, are you sick? What's wrong with you? Do you feel okay? Like, let me take your temperature. Because it just pulls all the color out of my face. But this does not do that. It has a great formula, 2 to 3 coats to get opaque. I have a review of this collection as well, and I'll stick this down below. It's beautiful, you guys. Perfect grandma shade with some like extra fun stuff. And I know this is still available. Then this is like another just fall staple that I really like, is like a mossy grayed out green. This is Serene from Believe Beauty. These Believe Beauty polishes were amazing, you guys, and for $2.50 you can't go wrong. I love the way this type of color looks on my skin tone as well. I have a lot of clothes this color that I love wearing. I just think it's very flattering. This is an interesting shade on the nails, and it's so pretty. And then back to my jewel tones. This is Spare Me a French Quarter from OPI. I love this type of color on me in clothes as well. I think this is a gorgeous manicure, gorgeous pedicure. These type of colors just really make me happy, especially in the fall, because you get a little bit of brightness, but you're still subdued going into fall. And for me, like letting go of summer is hard for me, you guys, and so this color kind of lets me hold on to a little bit of summer but still go into fall and be flattering. So has a great formula, 2 coats to get opaque. This was from the New Orleans collection. OPI has a lot of similar colors like this, and if you are close to my skin tone, I highly recommend, if you don't have one, to pick one up. Next favorite season is spring. Spring makes me happy because I know summer's coming, but spring here's a little rough. We get a lot of wind. Basically like you blow around all month. You know, it's just windy craziness, and sometimes it's still snowing like in May, and you're like, really? But you know summer's on the way. So it's like, oh, thank you. So I feel like for the most part I look really good in pastels, because they pop off my darker skin tone. But these are some of my favorites. This is Gotaluvpolish St. Clair. It's sort of like a periwinkle purpley blue. I love this on my skin. I think it really pops. And then going more towards summer, when I'm like even darker, this color is just so pretty, you guys. I think it's a beautiful pedicure. I love it as a manicure. This has a great formula. I know Kales aren't being sold anymore, but like You're Such a Budapest from OPI is similar to this. And then OPI in their like Nutcracker, I think it's Nutcracker, whatever the last holiday collection was, Alice in Wonderland, I don't even know. They had a polish similar to this. I'll put the name down below because I can't think of it right now. But it was basically a dupe for this, and it's so pretty, you guys. Super flattering. Then I love these sort of like minty green teal shades. This is Zoya's Wednesday, and I love this color on me, you guys. I think that it's really flattering. It pops off the nail. It gives you like a very eye-catching nail look. I think it's a beautiful pedicure as well. And again, going into summer when I'm a little darker, I just think that this type of color is so beautiful. This one is a harder to find. This is Pistache Royale from L'Oreal. But you get an idea. I really love this color, you guys. They are different. This is brighter and like less green, maybe, I don't know. But these type of colors to me just scream Easter and spring and the Easter bunny, and I love them. And then it would not be a polish talk video if I did not talk about some pinks. This is Zoya Shelby. When I wear pinks, I prefer them to be like blue based pinks or cooler toned pinks. I will wear warm tones, but I think these look better on me personally. I love all pinks, but the like blue based cooler tones are more what I lean towards. This Shelby, you guys, oh, I love this. And then it's like Shelby from one of my favorite movies, Still Magnolias, where she's like, my signature color is pink and my wedding colors are blush and bashful. So I think that's what this name's for. But then the mom's like, no, your colors are pink and pink. But this is such a gorgeous color, you guys. Great formula. 2 coats to get opaque. Pops off the nail. Gorgeous pedicure. Gorgeous manicure. Just a really wonderful polish. And then I have this sort of pinky purple. This is Wisteria, the Sally Hansen Crayola collection. I know this one will be hard to find, but maybe you have something similar you've seen or in your collection. I love this type of shade, and I feel like it's versatile because I would wear this in the fall, summer, and spring, and it really just pops off the nail. In the summer when you're like more tan, this color just looks so good. And then I like this type of color in the fall for clothing and stuff, so I like to wear it on my nails too. And then my favorite season of all time is summer. Basically, I feel like any neon polish looks pretty good on me because it just contrasts so well against my darker skin. But these are some of my favorites. So this is one of my favorite polishes ever of all time. This is Orly Vintage. It's sort of almost like a neon tealy turquoise. Has a good formula. 2 coats to get opaque. I love this polish, you guys. When I first got into nails, I wore this like when it came out multiple times during the summer, and it's so good every time. It makes a gorgeous pedicure. When you're like even more tanned in the summer, this just really pops. It's really interesting to my collection. I'll show it to you against these two. You can just see that it's just brighter, and I love it. Like if you have a darker skin tone, either mine or like even darker, you need this polish in your life because it is so beautiful. Then this is from Live Imara. This is Passion. I think this is still available. This is a super bright orange, almost like mac and cheese powder orange. I wear this as a pedicure this summer, you guys, and I literally almost died. It looks so good. I got so many compliments. It popped off my skin. It made my tan look even tanner. I was just in love with it. I don't usually show you feet pictures, but I am going to show you a feet picture because it was so good. Formula on this is a little tricky. 2 to 3 coats to get opaque. In like the formula is just a little bit odd compared to what I'm used to, but it's completely worth it for the color. Then I loved this color too. This is Little Bread and Butterflies. I love a highlighter yellow on me in the summer. I just think with my tan, it just pops. It's eye-catching. When I wore this, I would like stare at my nails all day. I would be like driving, stare at my nails, typing, stare at my nails. You know, I would just catch myself like, oh, this is so pretty. It's a neon yellow with like these iridescent flakies. So pretty. I got a lot of compliments on this. It was very something people hadn't seen, and just very like in your face bright neon, which I love. So like again, if you're in a darker skin tone, you need a neon yellow in your life because it's gonna look good on you, trust me. And then again, wouldn't be a polish talk video if I wasn't talking about some like pinky type shades. This is Passion Fruit from Tonic. It's like a coral neon, but it has a golden pink shimmer. This is beautiful on the nails, you guys. 2 to 3 coats to get opaque, but you don't have to use white undies underneath. It's bright on its own. I hate white undies. I never use them. I got a lot of compliments on this manicure as well. The pink shimmer is amazing on the nails. And this type of color, when you get more tan, just really, really pops. Then both of these shades are more blue leaning, like I was telling you about with Shelby. They're just cooler toned, and I like that more on my skin tone than I do warmer toned polish. So this is like a watermelon strawberry type red. It's like a pinker leaning red as opposed to an orange leaning red. This is Kiss and Tell from Believe Beauty, and I was in love with this, you guys. It's practically a one coater. On shorter nails, I think you could definitely get away with one coat. 2 coats to get opaque completely, you know, even on longer nails. And this is just so juicy and so eye-catching on the nails. It's a perfect like pedicure, manicure color. And I feel like it's sort of a classic color too, but eye-catching. It's very chic, especially if you have like shorter nails and then you just have this bright pop. It's so beautiful, you guys. $2.50 at Dollar General. Amazing. And then this is probably another one of my favorite polishes of all time, maybe favorite pink of all time, or very close. This is Desire from LA Girl Gel. This polish, you guys, every time I wear it, I'm like fascinated with my nails. I can't stop staring. I've done it as a pedicure. It's amazing. As a manicure, I'm literally like all day just like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough. Like, again, look at this next to my face. It just brings out like some color in the face. This formula is sort of like jelly and squishy. 2 coats to get opaque. It's so beautiful, so bright, classic pink for summer. If you don't have this and you love pink, or like you're a darker skin tone like I am, you need to get this. It's so good. So those are my favorite polishes that I like to wear all year round for my skin tone. Please make sure to go check out all the other ladies in the collaboration. I'll have all their information linked down below. There's going to be some YouTubers I know you guys are all going to know, but then there's going to be some newer channels, and you guys really need to check them out. They have some great content, and I'm hoping that you guys go over and subscribe and really enjoy what they're doing. That's one thing I like about collaborations. You get to find new people that you enjoy. So that is it for this video. If you liked it, please make sure to click the like button down below. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. And thanks you guys for watching. I will see you all in the next video. I hope you're having an amazing evening. Bye.